Alright, welcome to Console Crapshoot, spin wheel play game. Every time, Carl's new buddy Odo is back, keeping Carl on his toes, keeping him young, and let's see what he's gonna pick for us to play today. Oh, excellent, we're gonna be playing the PlayStation 1 again. We just played that 2 episodes ago, and it seems like every time I complain that we haven't played something in a long time, it pops up immediately multiple times, which is pretty cool. That works out. Oh damn, Siphon Filter. I was gonna say, with that many games on the wheel for any console, you're gonna run into a lot of crap, a lot of stuff you never heard of, good or bad, but Siphon Filter was a pretty big hit on the PS1. It had a handful of sequels and then it just kind of disappeared somewhere around the PS2, PSP era. I did not own this game, but I did play it at a friend's house once. All I remember about this game was, well, two things. First, it was good. I liked it. It was difficult, but it was good. But two, and I think this goes for, I'm going to stretch here, anyone that has played Siphon Filter, the one thing that stands out in your mind, at least it did for me, is the taser gun. I just remember running around and tasing people to death. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Let's see if it's still the funniest thing in the world. Yep, that's still pretty funny. You know, you got a game full of weapons. You got a game that offers a whole set of tools and strategies, and nothing beats tasing people in this game. You know, you have a crazy range on the thing. It's very accurate, and if you hold it down long enough, the victim just kind of burns like lights on fire and burns to death. You know, and there's all kinds of ways to do it. You can tase them in the old satchel, tase them right in the face. You can do a long distance one-armed hang tase. That's fun. A little behind the back tase here. A little surprise back of the neck tase. That's a classic. Part of me had so much fun doing the tasing part of the game that I thought would be funny to do this whole episode of just non-stop clips of tasing over and over and over again in different settings and show nothing else of the game. But, you know, I want to show some of the game and get to the reviews. So, but it's clearly the highlight. Not to say the rest of the game is bad. It's actually a pretty good game, especially for this era. But ask me again in 10 years what I remember about Siphon Filter, and I'm going to say tasing people until they burst into flames. Graphics are pretty good for the time, considering, you know, this was the blocky head era. You had a lot of ugly, kind of ironed-on faces. But the lighting, the textures, the overall ambiance, the music, it's all really good. The presentation here is pretty great. The gameplay's pretty great. I mean, with the exception of the controls are pretty wonky, I do have to say, but it took me a while to realize that there's lock-on buttons. A lot of times I just jump into a game and I refuse to look at the tutorial that they clearly give you. And even if I do watch the tutorial, I'm just kind of doom scrolling on my phone and I'm not paying attention. So without the auto lock-on feature, you cannot aim very easily in this game, which sucks because later in the game it calls for that. People are wearing armor, you have to kind of shoot them in the face. So you're struggling trying to get their face, especially if they're running around. It's pretty impossible without that lock-on feature. Once I found it though, I tore through the early parts of the game pretty easily. There's a couple of funny voice acting moments. The main guy has this kind of monotone delivery no matter what he's doing. It's pretty funny.
This one's different from the others. It has a shorter timer, and it looks...
That's not viral. It's
too late.
A couple other silly parts.
We are about to make an addition to it.
I don't think so, Gerdu. It ends here.
But overall, it's pretty damn good. It's very, very difficult. You're going to be replaying missions a whole lot. There's a stealth element. I don't think the stealth gameplay is quite as well thought out, as well designed and balanced as Metal Gear Solid, which came out, I think, a little bit before this, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of a chore to be stealthy in this game, and it feels pretty frustrating, pretty sensitive to successfully do that. They really went full cinematic. They packed a lot of stuff onto this disc, and it's a big, long game. I think it's safe to say that this is one of the most impressive PS1 games, technically, that I can think of. I don't know much about Siphon Filter, so I don't know why they stopped making these. They were pretty popular, and like I said, it's a pretty good game. There's a ton of third-person stealth action shooters still going to this day. But Siphon Filter, gone. Who knows what happened there? Maybe it'll come back at some point. But this was a big game at the time, so if you were going to remake it now, you'd want it to be a big game. And nowadays, that's such a huge investment. You're going to invest multiple years, maybe $100+ million making the thing, and what if there's not that much interest? So I get it, and I don't. You know, you have a cool IP, try something with it. People clearly dug it, but I don't know. I'm an idiot with a TikTok. So what did we think of Siphon Filter for the PlayStation 1? Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward pretty cut and dry. I like it. I think I said everything I had to say about it. I wish there was, I didn't see difficulty settings. Maybe I missed it, but I'm just gonna say there wasn't any because I didn't look that hard. I wish it was a little easier. I wanted to like play through the game, but I didn't have the patience to fail and fail and fail over and over again. Wish it had that like story difficulty as opposed to, you know, challenge difficulty. A lot of games come with that now. But other than that, solid, man. Really good game. It's really hard to be surprised now. I mean, when did the PS1 come out? What is it, like 30 years ago now? So to be surprised by the technical prowess of a game now on the PS1 is noteworthy. This game had the goods. Really good stuff. I have to give it a 4 out of 5. It's not necessarily my kind of game where I can sit here and play it. Like I said, I don't have the patience, but super impressive when you consider the time period it came out. It holds up pretty well. Lower to mid 4, but it's a 4 for me. All right, episode 95 in the books. I'm hoping for some weird stuff. Siphon Filter, really good, but kind of vanilla. Carl can do better than this. We've played some weird crap, and that's what I want. Can't wait to see what we get next week. I hope you'll join me, and we'll see you then.
Where's our damn backup?